Hey YouTube. Yeah, so I felt like playing a guitar. I've been building the latest Buckfaster caster. This one's a baritone guitar made out of a Fender Squire Bronco bass. So this is interesting. I put some mad pickups in it and stuff. It's in the paint shop just now. That'll be my garage. So I was looking for a guitar to do a video. I've seen as everyone's ill just now, or not ill, but the apocalypse is here. So I figured I'll do a video every day. So this is one of my favourite guitars, which has been hanging on the wall in here pretty much since I moved in, but I've not done a video of it yet. I did do a video when I bought it about 3 years ago when I was a lot thinner, because I just looked it up to make sure I hadn't done a video recently, and I really gonna have to start doing the weights and stuff again. I really like my fat bastard now. I think I was fatter than this before I decided to lose weight, but I've just been putting it on, and it's no good. Yeah, so yeah, I've done a couple of Vantages. This has been in a couple of videos I've done recently because I bought a black one, which was like it was all black but had a red pinstripe around the scratch plate. It was pretty cool. And just a couple of weeks ago I got a white one, which was an HSS with scratch plates on it. This one has a better name. I can't remember what the other two were called. One of them was a TDX, the other one's called a 3 something. This is an Avenger. I was like, yeah. And it's the most amazing colour. I don't know if you're really getting the gist of it. It doesn't do it justice seeing it in the video, but it's a sort of a bluey purple. I liked it because the guy in Baby Metal's got, well, one of the original guitarists, Baby Metal, plays a purpley one, but his is more pinky than this. Not this model. It's an ESP something. It's 8 strings and not this guitar. So Vantage were another one of the this is right slap bang in my era of when my favourite guitars were built, when I reckon the best guitars you can buy are come from. So I think it's Matsumoto built. Starts with 2, so it'd be 1982, I would think. Japanese. Let me show you the features. So I've been watching the Slingshot channel. A wee bit scratchy. It's not been. I played this, I think, the second week I was in the Cranking House band, and it sounded fantastic. That was when I looked it out, and I've basically not touched it since then. So yeah. So maple neck. It's not it's a one-piece maple neck, not a 3-piece like most of the Matsumoto's, the Arias and stuff are, but it's got a separate fingerboard, which I would rather it was one piece all the way, but can't have everything. It doesn't make it play any different. You've got these pickups. A lot of this is going to be unknown stuff. These pickups, not sure what they are. I think they're probably Goto. Same with the tuners, which are Vantage branded, but they'll probably be Goto as well. The bridge is solid brass, which if you look in my video from 3 years ago, it was unbelievably shiny, but it's kind of gone matte again. I think what they did with these things, I seem to remember what they do is they polished them up and then they lacquered them so that they stayed shiny. Whereas I just shined this up and it looked like $1 million. It was like that thing in Pulp Fiction, when you open the suitcase. It really was just, it shone fantastic. I might actually use the picture. I think I'll see if I took a photo on my driveway in the sun 3 years ago. I might use that picture as the thumbnail for this video. So it's sort of like a Strat, sort of, maybe, not really. I think it'll be 25.5-inch scale, but my tape's in the garage because I was measuring out where to put the bridge on the baritone. Yeah, so it's solid brass hardtail bridge, not strung through. I prefer it being strung through just purely on the principal idea of the string goes through the body, therefore better. Whether it is or not, I don't know. I've seen a magazine article or an advert for this Yamaha here, which its whole point was you don't want it to be strung through, so it's top loaded, but that's the main feature of that guitar, was the fact that the bridge doesn't have any, it's got quite a low break angle. The idea there being the string's only kind of coming up like that and then going flat, as opposed to going through like a 90-degree bend, which could be better as well. So I mean, these things, who knows exactly what's better, or even whether it makes any difference at all, whether it's different or not. I don't even know. It's like Whether it's different, better, or doesn't make any difference, I don't know. So this will have 3-year-old elixirs on it. Just again, testament to how good elixir strings are by them. And it's really, really nice. I got it in a trade when I started doing Mad Guitars. It was a switchy one that was covered in switches. It put 6 pickups. I don't think it was the one that had painted slime green, but it was something like that. I think I might have had a mirror scratch plate the one I swapped for it. Some guy in Edinburgh wanted to swap, and he showed me this picture. I've got this old Vantage. It was a pair, but it was manky and completely unloved since the 80s, I think, because I think a lot of people couldn't pull off this guitar. Just look at it, but now that it's all shiny and stuff, I think it looks stunning. It doesn't have a chamfer on the top here, which I find strange, so it kind of feels a bit like a Telecaster. But these chamfers are just for look, and I think it does look pretty sleek. Coil splits on both the tone pots. Comes with my favourite type of volume control. See the ones with the wee notches on them? That's the best kind of volume control. The grippy stand, I think they look coolest. I've been putting them on my Washburn Wing series, even though they didn't originally come with it. But a lot of 80s Japanese guitars came like that. Brass nut as standard. Like, very nice. I've not seen another Vantage this colour. It must be an original. It must be a factory colour because it's got the logo and stuff on top of it, and it's, you can tell looking at it, it's unbelievably. Just looking at it up close and this light, it changes colour when you move it around. But sparkly guitars are ultimately super rocking. Yeah. Oh, I've got hit 900 subscribers today. It's like, wee. I was a wee bit disappointed yesterday. I thought I'd said something bad, because I thought my subscriber count had gone down. I thought I was at 981 or something like that the other day, but it turns out it wasn't. It must have been 881 I was at. So now I'm at 900, so I've got 100 to go, and then I'm thinking I might monetize the channel, see if I can actually make some money from it. Not because I want to make money, but I think that if I did that, I would appear in more searches more often, because YouTube, obviously being bastards, would I shouldn't say that when I'm trying to get more views, but then obviously if you've monetized your channel, YouTube makes money from that advertising revenue, so they'll push you up to the higher up in the algorithm. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if I'm doing all this just now without having with no advertising on it at all, I'm not going to go for mental advertising. I might just tell you one that's got a banner that kind of runs along here. Annoying that you just click off. Not that there's ever really that much to see. You might have to turn it off for me actually, because I normally stand, the banner would appear there. It'd be annoying, but hey. So I'll just have a wee jam. Another thing I actually put up today, I got Alice picks, which are wee. I bought these before and I really liked them. They've got a sort of raised, the nylon ones have got a sort of raised logo on them, which are my favourite kind of picks. So what I did was I bought the right thickness of picks. So I got one sitting there. I do not. Yeah, see, there's one there. See that pick, right? Alice 0.96 looks exactly the same. That's a base pick. So I've been using them, really thick. This is one of the ones I just bought. It also says 0.96 on it, and it's super bendy. So they've got really shit. I think what they must just print them out. I mean, it's not it's made of different plastic. It is just half as thick. So I don't know, when you buy Alice picks, which are cheap, let's be honest, I think I paid £3 for a bag of them. It's like one of those things that's like, I've got that many of these picks. And unfortunately they're not quite the right ones. So I'm trying to play with a slightly lighter pick now, just because I've got tons of them. So I'll see what happens there. Yeah. Go for a bit of single coil action. I now use this. Don't think I'll move. Oh, what's that remind you of? That's Ding, innit? Got a bit of distortion on there. When I monetize the channel, I'm going to start having problems because I play covers all the time. So I might have to just start not ever playing covers. Back to the harder 0.96 pick. I remember Paul Gilbert talking about picks before, and he said it doesn't really make any difference, but lighter picks are better for pick scratching. Maybe they are. Great track for jamming over this one. which I've not really been fitting to my guitars very much. This one, because it's got 2 individual coil splits, you've got a choice. You can split 2 pickups at the same time with the one switch, but this gives you the option of having a single coil and a humbucker. So we cut down what we're doing. Next number, turn the humbucker down. The other way round, so as you get humbucker on the neck, single coil on the bridge. So it's exactly the same. I'm not sure I'm going to get away with using these thin picks. I'll persevere and see if I can get round it, because I've got 50 of the bastards to run through. So sounds the same. Maybe the problem is just now I'm using the rat pedals. I've started noticing more recently, because I've got other distortion pedals. You lose a lot of the sound with a rat pedal. Rat pedal just gives you tons of sustain and kind of makes all guitars sound the same. I mean, I absolutely love it, but this is the Washburn stack in a box. So a little bit more, more of the guitar sound comes through, I think. Almost like a ton of distortion there a little bit. Sounds good in single coil, doesn't it? So we go for. I wonder if it makes a difference now with less distortion with the. I think this is a tune I was working on. I'm actually thinking of hitting the guys in the band with this one as a sort of cover. Did you recognise it? I was playing it on the wee Yamaha guitar yesterday, but I blanked the video by mistake and I played a blues jam in the second attempt at the video. So not the right drum track, is it, for that? what I was thinking was that's the soundtrack to the old PC game Doom. Well, sort of. I was thinking that other bit with the chords. I wonder if I get a singer in my band to sing over that and then make the song about like going to Mars, going to Mars and then digging a mine and accidentally opening a portal to hell or something like that. So that people are going, I kind of recognise that song, and then it's about that. So it's like, although it is clearly just stealing the riff, it would be doing something, making a song out of it, because I'm pretty sure it just keeps doing that riff over and over again. I mean, I've not played Doom for a bit. Did I ever even have a computer that played it? I did have a PC, I think my dad's PC used to play Doom a little bit, but this is when, whoa, first person shooter. What a brand spanking new, so people of my generation will remember Doom being the ultimate game, because it was the first game that you could run about with a gun. And then it was superseded by GoldenEye 007, which I should probably had good music in it as well. It was like James Bond, but it was a bit more. This is not it. See, that's what I'm worried about when I monetize the channel. If I'm sitting there, because that was me just I heard a wee thing there. That's SS Death Star Intergalactic by somebody. I just remember that riff. I think it only had one bit, I can't remember what it goes like, but Death Star Intergalactic. I should really have tried playing the guitar before I hit record on the video, like have a wee warm-up jam, and that was me just going completely cold. I've been working on that baritone guitar all day. Yes, so Vantage guitars are awesome. There's lots of different ones. There's like hundreds of different models. My pal Ronnie, just the other day, or the other week, got one of these. His is, it's not as cool as this, 'cause it's not purple, but it's the same model. This is an AV315, I think. And he got it for absolute peanuts. You know, the sort of money you can, if you buy a guitar and it works, you're doing well. Never mind, if you shit Squire Strat type Gumtree money. And he got one of these. It's a bit beat up. His is a sort of natural red colour, but I mean, these are stunning guitars. Not really worth very much money though. Oh, and I've got three of them now. I've got this one, the black one, which is like a Strat with 3 single coils, and a white one, which has got a humbucker and 2 single coils. I can't really justify having the other two though. I'm going to sell the white one, I think, because it's too similar to the black one. But I mean, it's like the problem with it is it's dead difficult to sell a guitar that's really good. I mean, if this had been like, instead of making this, they'd made the Fender equivalent, it'd be like a £600-800 guitar, no problem. Now, like the Japanese, and they just don't go for that. There's a bass version of this one, which I totally want. If anyone's ever seen one of them, just basically this with a P bass pickup on it, and a longer neck, but amazing looking guitar. But the same as all the other Japanese companies, round about the late 80s, the name disappeared, or it got sold to somebody else. I think they sort of continued on. They started doing them in Korea. I think that white one I've got is the sort of first of the Korean ones when they still looked like this. And then a year later or 2 years later, I think they just did what everyone else did, and they just produced Strat copies and Super Strats, and I don't really like Super Strats. Super Strats are just not my thing. I think it just stems back to when I was learning to play the guitar. My first guitar was a Yamaha RGX 321P, which was a Super Strat, kind of looked a bit like an it's an RGX, not an RG, but very similar. There's something about when that happened, because I didn't like that music. I mean, 80s music was never my thing. I kind of like it now, you know, the hair metal. I was wearing a Bon Jovi t-shirt later on. I kind of like it now, but at the time it was like I liked the Stones and Sabbath and Zeppelin and Deep Purple and 70s prog. You know what I mean? I wasn't interested in hair metal at all, or people who played Super Strats. Not that, I mean, thinking about Super Strat, Super Cat can do everything a Strat does, but it's got a humbucker in it. Really, you know, in the Floyd Rose, you don't need to give it the pure wah! All the time. You can just use it as a normal Strat trem, but it stays in tune. So, each to their own. I mean, it's all so much of the guitar. I've said this thousands of times. So much of the guitar is whether you like it, whether you think it's cool. I mean, for this one, for me, it is a fantastic guitar. Like on paper, if you measured it and all that, but the fact that it's a slightly strange shape, it's a little bit evil looking, and it's purple glitter is like me. It's like these things just make it better and better. Whereas I can imagine if you gave this to someone who's right into, I was going to say Oasis, but then people that can't play guitar, but you know what I mean. Like if you're into Britpop or I don't know, some cool music, you know, folk like who I was thinking, the Black Keys or something like that, white stripesy type thing where you've got like pure it's all to do with being totally cool and having a crazy haircut and wearing a jumper and all that and go to coffee shops. I'm just sounding like a complete arsehole then, but they wouldn't like a guitar like this, you know, whereas something like me, or I think this would go quite well in a hair metal band perhaps. I don't know, it's kind of funny because it doesn't really fit into any categories. It fits into when Japan were making guitars like this one and that one that you don't get them anymore. You don't get guitars like this anymore. And who knows what? It's not really set for a specific style. It's just it does the lot. It's just an amazing guitar, but you can do anything. I mean, you can play anything on it, but you are going to look a bit silly going out and playing the Beatles on a guitar that looks like this. Whereas I think if this guitar had been about when the Beatles were doing Sgt. Pepper and stuff, they would have been playing these. Definitely. Just they didn't exist at that point. I can talk for half an hour and I never even got anything interesting to say. So rock on, and I'm just doing this to keep all the folk who are self-isolating. I'm not speaking about self-isolating. I went and met the guy who I did the left-handed guitar for last week. You know, I put the Jazzmaster rollers in it and made it like I turned a left-handed into a right-handed. Met him at the little car park, and I didn't, because I haven't touched the guitar for a week. I took it out, like I put a cloth around it, so I never actually even touched the guitar. And then when I had it in the passenger seat of the car, and when I met him, I got out the car and I talked to him over the top of the car and got him to take the guitar out. It's just like your total non-contact situation. And then I went into Home Bargains and they had toilet roll on a pallet at the front door, and I just bought it anyway. So I'm now sorted for toilet roll. I wasn't running out severely. I think I've still got 3 rolls left in the last packet, but you know, I've gone down to I've got a roll of bog roll, so I sit on the horn of one of the guitars there for my nose runs all the time, partly because of doing things like spray painting and sawing and stuff, so it's just always full of sawdust. So I moved on to kitchen roll for blowing my nose, so now I can move back on to toilet roll without having to worry about it. So if you buy a guitar off me in the next couple of weeks, you get a free roll of toilet roll if you want it. Or if you buy a roll of toilet off me, you can get a free guitar with it. But stay safe and try not to look up stuff on the internet. I'd worked myself out last night thinking I was totally sure that I had the coronavirus, just from everything on Facebook was all about it, and I was sitting there and I had a bit of a sore head and I was up here, and then started worrying about it, and eventually I convinced myself I was ill. I don't think I was. I think basically what had happened was I drank three cans of Red Bull yesterday, so I had a sore head. You can't drink 3 cans of Red Bull in one day, or something like that. So just try and keep sensible and safe. All 900 of you, even though no 900 people don't watch the videos, but hey, 900 of you click the subscribe thing. And if you're watching these and you haven't subscribed, do it please. I'd love to get to 1,000. That'd be rocking. I've got a PC. My pal David's helped me out with a PC, so I might be able to do some editing and stuff like that, making the channel a bit more pro. But I don't know if I really want to do that. I kind of like the idea of just turning it on and then just talking shit for, well, they're turning into half an hour. Started off I wanted to do 2-minute videos, and then became 5 minutes and then 10 minutes. I think I'm going to run through my channel and delete an awful lot of videos as well. The sound quality in the early ones are awful. Especially my first video. I was just out of interest. I was talking to someone what my first video was, and when I started doing it was about 8 or 9 years ago, and it was the double neck 6-string Telecaster and 6-string bass, and the sound on it was terrible. It sounded this is before I'd upgraded to, you know, proper camera and proper mics and all these things. And my second video was Jam with Ram, Black Betty. So I thought it was quite amusing. I still thought that was a good video. It was basically I was working up in Balfron on converting a barn, and there was a sort of part of a working farm that was in the grounds of this barn, and there was a barn and it had a ram in it for about 3 weeks. Used to go out and talk to it when I was having a fag and having lunch. I played Black Betty on my acoustic, or my Epiphone SG unplugged to this ram. So well, have a look at that. It's an amusing video. It's only about 2 minutes long. Got my dad to film it. That's before I started getting a bit mad into the YouTube. The thing is, I really enjoy doing it. It's nice just talking to, don't know, the world. I like the idea that like in 50 years time, when will I be dead in 50 years time? Maybe. Okay, in 100 years time, I'll be dead, definitely. Pretty sure. I might still exist somewhere, you know what I mean, on some hard drive or in the interweb. Rock and roll.